Nicola Sturgeon is facing a vote of no confidence from the Scottish Conservatives after her SNP government published legal advice related to the botched investigation into allegations of sexual harassment against Alex Salmond. Scotland's Deputy First Minister John Swinney had agreed to hand over legal advice after being threatened with a no-confidence vote. He acknowledged reservations were raised by government lawyers about the way allegations about former First Minister Mr. Salmond were investigated. BBC Scotland political editor Glenn Campbell tweeted, "The Scott Tories are to call a vote of no confidence in First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, accusing her of lying to Parliament, which she denies." Scottish Conservative leader Douglas Ross has insisted Ms. Sturgeon must resign. He said in a statement, "Credible witnesses have now backed up Alex Salmond's claims and the legal advice shows the government knew months in advance that the judicial review was doomed, but they still went on to waste more than £500,000 of taxpayers' money. There is no longer any doubt that Nicola Sturgeon lied to the Scottish Parliament and broke the ministerial code on several counts. No First Minister can be allowed to mislead the Scottish people and continue in office, especially when they have tried to cover up the truth and abuse the power of their office in the process. The weight of the evidence is overwhelming. Nicola Sturgeon must resign. No evidence she can provide tomorrow will counter the claims of numerous witnesses or refute that her government ignored the legal advice for months and lost more than £500,000 of taxpayers' money in the process. We will be submitting a vote of no confidence in the First Minister." A Scottish Labour spokesperson also said, "Nicola Sturgeon has serious questions to answer. We will give her the opportunity to present her evidence to the committee and answer those questions." It comes as redacted legal advice published by the Scottish Government shows lawyers advised them in September 2018 there is a real risk that the court may be persuaded by the petitioner's case in respect of the ground of challenge based on procedural unfairness. On December 6 of that same year, legal advisers told ministers that in their view the least worst option would be to concede the petition. They wrote, "We understand how unpalatable that advice will be, and we do not tender it lightly. But we cannot let the respondents sail forth into January's hearing without the now very real risks of doing so being crystal clear to all concerned." The Scottish Conservatives had earlier said they will press ahead with a vote of no confidence in Scotland's Deputy First Minister John Swinney until all advice from the Mr. Salmond legal action was released. In November 2020, the Scottish Parliament twice passed motions demanding the government publish all the legal advice it had received about Mr. Salmond's judicial review. But after a vote of no confidence was tabled against Mr. Swinney on Monday, which the SNP's rival political parties have indicated they would support, over the government's refusal to comply with the will of Parliament, the Deputy First Minister announced on Monday key legal advice would be released. He confirmed in a letter to the inquiry set up to look into the affair that it would be sent to them on Tuesday afternoon. In his letter to the Committee on the Scottish Government Handling of Harassment Complaints, Mr. Swinney conceded there were reservations expressed about the case after it emerged the investigating officer had prior contact with the complainers. However, the Deputy First Minister added there were good public policy arguments and reasonable grounds for the government to continue to defend the judicial review.